This is economic comparison of the United States, China, and Israel. I'm Dalton Holloway.
And I am Michael Hockenberger. Thank you for watching our presentation. As you mentioned, we are starting off with the three countries of the United States chosen because Dalton and I are both from the United States. The People's Republic of China being a communist and closed market managed economy, and then the State of Israel as a smaller nation with a mixed market economy. Looking over the nations is just an overview. The People's Republic of China does have the world's largest population at 1.4 trillion people compared to 330 billion for the United States and 8 billion for Israel. China and United States geographically are about the same size, but Israel being so small has a very dense population crammed into about the area about the size of New Jersey. Where that's a big factor is that while the United States and China have a broad economy with agriculture and other factors, Israel does not have much of an agricultural program, which could lead for that country to have economic problems for its people if there were any problems importing foodstuffs and that sort of thing.
This is the gross national product of each country. And the United States has a GDP of $20.49 trillion. And the United States leans towards a more free market systems with the population of about 33 million. So the GDP per capita is $61,550. China has a GDP of 13.4 trillion with a population of over 1 billion. And though the GDP looks huge in China compared to Israel, the GDP per capita in China is only $9,280, whereas the state of Israel, with a GDP of $403 billion and a population close to 9 million, their GDP per capita is $45,850. Economic freedom. The United States ranks 20th in economic freedom in the world. It's third among 32 countries in the Americas region. And the overall score is above the regional and the world averages. But what hurts the United States the most is fiscal health. There's a large amount of debit on deficit spending, and that weighs heavily against the United States' economic freedom. Israel is ranked 26 in the world. The Israeli government spends a lot of money, so that's a hindrance to economic freedom. China is scored at 107, and it's a mostly unfree economy. There are property rights on the rise. However, the tax burden is still high, and it continues to be highly protectionist, and with an overbearing government control on investment and the economy.
Even with that overbearing government restricting foreign investment, China did still pull in $187 billion in foreign investment. While that doesn't seem a lot compared to the $302 billion brought in by the United States, both tower well above the state of Israel, which only brought in $17 billion. However, when you look at this as a in comparison to the percentage of the GDP, United States of America and China are both pretty similar in how much they bring in money. Israel, however, since it does have such a large pharmaceutical and new technology driven nation and economy, a lot of foreign countries invest heavily into these new technologies, which does help Israel a lot with foreign investment.
Levels of corruption. The United States ranks in at 25 out of 180 countries, and the United States is relatively corrupt-free when compared to its southern neighbors. Still, the United States has much work to do. Israel ranks 35 out of 180 countries and has a score of 60 out of 100, with its rank much lower than its neighbors. China's level of corruption is 78 out of 180, and a corruption score of 42 out of 100. With its score ranking higher than its free market neighbors, South Korea and Japan, which is to be expected.
That is our presentation regarding the economic status and how that affects the economic freedom of those three nations. Thank you for watching our video and have a great day.